하고 싶은 말이야? 말 섞기도 싫은데.
아,
박수 칠 때 떠나라.
영.
영원한 건 없으니까. 우승하고 떠나라.
박.
박수.
영.
영우가
우.
우승했다. 와. SK-T1의 미소 천사죠.
누나들의 심장을 폭격하는 그런 웃음인 것 같아서
펭귄 같이 걸어서 귀엽더라고요.
주성욱 선수가 몸이 좋다고 알고 계시는데 그에 못지않게 굉장한 근육을 가지고 있고 또 크죠, 명호 형이.
뭐가 큰가요?
네, 근육이요. 네, 무슨 생각하신 거지?
네, 전체적으로 일단 약간 털보 이미지 같이 약간 털이 많아요.
제가 그 분노 조절 장애가 있어요. 가끔씩 되게 화를 낼 때가 있거든요. 근데 그걸 보면은 얘가 약간 제정신이 아닌 것 같을 때가 많아요.
그냥 지금은 영우 보이는 게 거슬리더라고요. 지금 이게 며칠 안 돼가지고 그냥 조용히 연습했으면 좋겠어요.
그럼 게임을 안 했으면은 약간 까매가지고 약간 바닷속에서 이랬을 거예요.
그런 클럽 같은 데 있잖아요. 그 앞에서 경호원 하고 있으면
클럽을 되게 좋아했을 것 같아요.
흔드는 걸 본 적이 있어요.
그런 거는 본 적이 없는데 이제 제가 본 걸 바탕으로 하면 좋아할 것 같아요.
80%?
99% 이길 것 같아요.
저희 팀에서 제가 생각해도 제일 연습을 많이 하고
경험적인 부분이나 모든 면에서 조금씩 앞선다고 생각해요.
딱 봐도 그냥 명호 형이 우승할 것 같은 느낌이 드는 것 같아요.
근육이 많은 건 맞는데 그 외적인 것은 좀 제가 알지 못하는 제 모습을 본 것 같네요. 아니 뭐 당연히 인터뷰하면 어느 정도 모함은 할 줄 알았기 때문에 충격받진 않았어요. 저로 다시 태어나면 될 것 같아요. 저는 이번 시즌 16강 할 때부터 이미 트로피를 들고 있다는 생각밖에 안 해서 그냥 100% 할 것 같아요.
한번 우승해봤으니까 또 쉽게 할 수 있을 거라고 생각한다.
상대 보니까 우승할 것 같은데 깔끔하게 우승해서 맛있는 거 사줘.
꼭 우승했으면 좋겠어, 형. 파이팅.
그냥 이기고 결승 올라갔으니까 우승했으면 좋겠다.
뭐 언제나 응원해 주셔서 감사하고 많은 응원 부탁드립니다.
잠시만요. 비밀? 말해도 돼? 없어요.
제가 민수의 라떼 사진을 갖고 있어요. 목욕할 때 제가 몰래 찍었어요. 귀엽게 보시는 것 같아요, 다른 사람들이 볼 때는. 돌돌이 이런 이미지라서
자기 주관이 뚜렷해서 자기 할 말라는 좀 현실감 있다 그래야 되나? 그래도 좀 세상을 좀 알고 있는 것 같아요.
평소에 좀 많이 짜요. 저랑 8강에서 뺐는데 이기고 그냥 쏠 생각도 안 하더라고요.
좀 어른스러운 척을 하는데 술을 먹으면은 애가 돼요.
딱히 잘 모르겠어요.
제 생각에 연습량에서는 확실히 더 많아요.
영우도 되게 자신감이 넘치는데 민수가 더 자신감이 넘치는 것 같아요. 항상 거울 보면서 자기는 자기 얼굴 잘생긴 것 같다고.
저쪽에서는 영어 선수 얼굴이
인정해.
5대 50%로 보고 있어요.
20%?
준비를 좀 잘 하는 것 같아요.
같은 종족전이고 그리고 민수도 최근에 기대가 굉장히 좋기 때문에
서저전은 동족전이니까 자신감 싸움인데 민수가 자신감이 무기니까 그걸 활용하면 충분히 이길 수 있을 것 같아요.
일단 영호 형은 인성이 너무 나쁜 것 같아서 인성은 제가 훨씬 좋은 것 같아요. 생각보다 굉장히 마음이 깊고 그때 제가 좀 많이 어른스러운 것 같아요. 항상 준비할 때마다 상대마다 다 다른 전략이랑 맞춤 빌드나 이런 걸 다 생각해놔서 쉽게 다 이렇게 이긴 것 같고 그리고 연습 자체도 되게 열심히 했던 것 같아요.
이번에 첫 결승이니까 좀 많이 떨릴 텐데 열심히 준비한 만큼 그냥 차분하게 하면 우승할 수 있을 것 같아.
국내에서 아직 우승이 없어서 이번이 절호의 기회라고 생각하고 있으니까 꼭 마지막에 좋은 결과를 얻을 수 있도록 열심히 했으면 좋겠다.
일단 저는 우승할 거라고는 무조건 믿어 의심치 않고 팬분들도 되게 많이 와주시고 좀 많은 사람들 앞에서 우승했습니다. 팬 여러분 결승전도 꼭 많이 응원해주세요.
Welcome back, everybody, to the KBS Sports World Gymnasium #2 for more SSL Season 2 Grand Finals. I am, of course, Valdez. With me is Wolf. Glad to have you guys back with us. We're about to jump into an interview now with the two coaches of these two teams.
Now, I'm really curious. I assume it's going to be Stork from Samsung, but they brought some other special people today, which I'll talk about a little bit later, potentially. And I'm assuming that's Uwe. I can recognize his silhouette anywhere. It will be Stork. And Uwe here, starting off with, I don't know who we're starting off with. They just introduced themselves. Looks like we're going to talk to Uwe.
So the sets, right now, it's really close. It's 1-1. So as the head coach, you went in and talked to Dark. How does he feel? He says, I'm pretty confident up until now. Dark doesn't look too nervous. He prepared very, very hard for this match. But it seems like Solar prepared really well as well. So I'm really looking forward to the next match to see what direction this series takes.
Such a liar. He's like, I hope he wins. It's like, not like, oh, it's going to be such a great finals. So let's talk to Stork. So you have a really close relationship with Solar. And you're the head coach. So how do you feel about Solar? So I knew he was going to make it to the finals this season. So it's been a long time since he's played a big match like this, and you know, obviously people can get nervous, so he's hoping he doesn't, that he wins this. So what kind of preparation do these players put into ZVZ finals?
Says it's a ZVZ. So
I think what he said is he's like, it's kind of up to your fundamentals preparing. You know, it comes down to how good you are rather than preparing specifically, which I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, but he might also just be like hiding how Dark prepared. Look at his face. I'm pretty sure Uwe is just like saying essentially like Dark is better and so he will win, and he just like looks up and smiles. Yeah. He's like, I'll never tell you anything we trained with. And like, that's a bad question.
Said again, he was really excited to see how the series goes. So same question as Stork. How did Solar prepare? One of the biggest difficulties was actually finding practice partners for this season. So we have an advantage because I can speak English. So there's so many foreign players that we can talk to and be in contact to and practice with. So he didn't sleep. He was up all night practicing with the foreign players. And you could tell that he really put in a lot of work into his preparation.
Yeah, very good words there. So with the score being 1-1, asking Uv now what he expects for the rest of the series, as neither player is correct in their 4-0 prediction. So basically, even though it's if you win a championship, you might not be remembered unless it's a good final. So he's hoping that it's going to be good finals. Stork agrees. Basically, he's saying, I want to make a good score. Like for him, obviously, a win in 3-4 is the best type of finals. So basically, he's saying, even Solar was saying, like, you could just give him one more game, so maybe it'll be a 4-2.
So, words of encouragement for Dark as his coach. It's Dark's second time in the finals, so you have more experience. As long as he keeps, just playing well and focuses, he hopes that Dark can make some good decisions and get the victory. I told him everything I needed to before we came here. So I hope he accomplishes his goal of a second championship and grows as a pro gamer.
So what would you like to say to Solar? Again, a words of encouragement type question here. Solar, you've always been a good player in individual leagues. I know how hard you work, I know how hard you prepare, and this is the hardest I've ever seen you prepare. I know how much you want this, and I hope that it all comes out good in the end as we finish this season. So that will be it for the interview. And it looks like it's about time to go to game number 3 here. See who's going to take the lead.
Yeah, and it's very, very close at this point. As we were saying, 1-1. Both games seemed, pretty one-sided for the player that won, right? Dark held flying colors. He outmaneuvered Solar in the first game, took out the third hatchery, and really just got so far ahead that he crushed him. Second game, Solar comes out with a really cool build, a really cool composition, and he absolutely, wipes the floor clean with Dark in that game. So it's turning into what looks like a really close finals here, even though we were saying before, yeah, Dark is the favorite. Now it's really anyone's finals
And
here.
it just goes to show that I think build order strategies, your decision-making in this matchup is oftentimes what wins it for you. At this level of play, both players' micro is godlike. Now, one is better than the other for sure, but I think what's more significant is going to be the decision-making, which is why I was disagreeing with Uv when he was like, yeah, it's just about your fundamentals. I'm like, I don't think so, man. I
he
think
just
this
like
is
kind of
actually
smirks. He's like,
I think this is actually about strategy, preparation. Yeah, micro is important. How many drones you make, making that decision in game is important. But I think the overarching builds and again those decisions, they are strategy. Do I drone? Do I attack? Do I make links? That kind of decision making, which is why this is an RTS, a real-time strategy game, is what's most important.
Yeah, for sure. So guys, get out there. Tell everybody to join us here in the stream for this fantastic finals. I know it's a CVC. It's really, really close, though. It's anyone's finals. This could go to Game 7. We're going to be jumping into New Gettysburg here for set number 3. Both these players have a pretty good win rate on this map.
Yeah, it's a solid map for Zerg. It always kind of started as one, so this will include, of course, the Pro League maps where they took on this map. And it also has the best intro as a map as well. Yeah. I love this map. It's one of our newest maps created by Jackie himself, a longtime map maker.
Guys, we're going to jump into game number 3 right now. Dark versus Solar going head-to-head on New Gettysburg.
No time like the present.
분기점은 지금이다.
Here we are on New Gettysburg now for set number 3. Down to the bottom left, in the red from SK Telecom T1, It is Dark.
He is such a powerful player, always has been. The project of Boxer come to fruition here. His opponent to the bottom right in blue took that last game. He is Solar, tying us up here 1-1. And there's a lot of fans here for him because he is the underdog, and this is kind of the story of Star Leagues. One player is always the underdog, and tonight that's Solar, looking to get his first Star League title. And what this map is known for in this matchup is usually timing attacks. We saw Curious kind of really, I feel, pave the way for how this map should be played, using the bridge for early attacks, early rushes, because it's a short rush. I know you mentioned Frozen Temple, kind of the shortest one. This one is, but it's always not. It's not always safe to use it as that. But I think in this matchup, a lot of the times it definitely is safe to use that. So we see a lot of timing attacks here. Now Dark is known for this, like his teammate Sue, and I feel like Dark has even surpassed Sue in his execution of said timing attacks. So we'll see if we see something like that here.
Yeah, I mean, Dark's been playing it pretty safe, pretty standard, you know, from the get-go in this whole entire series. So this would be a great map, I think, to change it up. The question is, does Solar know about that? Does Dark want to play into what Solar knows? Maybe all Solar has to do is make a safe baneling nest, and he can hold anything. You know, I think a safe baneling nest on this map is pretty standard regardless. But I like that Solar's playing it that way, getting it out early, just making sure he can morph these banelings early, not die to any crazy Dark aggression, and it's going to be a good start. But let's see what Dark wants to do. Maybe Dark just goes incredibly greedy from here and takes an early third base, and that's exactly what he does.
He will, and a second gas being placed here. Now this may just be for the transition to Lair, as we've been seeing early Lairs this series so far, you know, as both players have been going for those Roach speed-oriented builds. But in this case, you know, it's going to be Hatch Tech for now. The Baneling Nest is most likely for flexibility. Look, I mean, he's even droning up here. This is a great scout, and this is the micro aspect I'm talking about, where you look to see, you know, if you can win that trade to the Lings, you get the scout. If you lose it, you can't see this. 16 Lings behind this, by the way. He's really committing. The Baneling Nest is going to pay off, but he's doing this with a hatchery. It's not an all-in. You know, he has a big follow-up here.
It's kind of interesting. I mean, with the third hatchery, it's out there and you can fall back on it, but it also gives you that extra larva, that extra production. I wonder if he is going to get aggressive here. He is making a couple more drones, but that big swell of Lings is definitely interesting.
Yeah. Okay, Lings actually get through here because he doesn't want to waste the Banelings on a small group of Lings, so he wants to see how many units have been made. Is he getting a lair or not? Is this even viable? Should I even attack here? And I think the idea is, no, I just make sure I use these Lings to deny a third base while I have my own up at home. He's getting his own Baneling Nest at home, which could be used aggressively.
I think it will be. Look at this. I mean, 8 roaches coming out right now.
Yeah, he's just using that third base as a larva machine. Like you mentioned, it's almost like you can, it's got two powers to it.
Ooh.
It's almost as if you're a Protoss, you can make 2 gateways instead of a Nexus. You know?
Solar beginning to read this. He puts down a Spine and is getting a Spire as well. That's not really going to help him. He's not going to be able to get out enough mutas in time to hold this attack, so maybe he's playing it safe at the same. Oh, 4 Spines coming down here, so he knows 100% for now. The question is, does Dark commit? Does he go for it? I think he has to at this point.
Yeah. Now he's going to use these Lings to basically buy time here. This is something we saw attempted against Curious, but it failed a little bit. The Roaches obviously are going to put an end to that. And good control here so far, trading evenly with the Banes. But now he's going to have to use these Spine Clawers and some Transfuses to hold this off. They're about to finish here.
And if he can finish it, it's going to be huge. Another one pops. There's another one. But already Dark with a ton of roaches at the top of the ramp here.
He needs to transfuse. He has a few more Banelings out here as well. And if he holds this, it's over. He has a Spire. He's going to win the game. So this is really, at this point, all in for Dark. He only has 27 drones. You know, he's starting to transition. He knows now, okay, I'm in trouble, but he's so far behind in tech, Solar can do whatever he wants at this point forward.
And Dark doesn't know that the Spire is on the way, of course. I mean, maybe he can try to guess here and, you know, make some safe spores, but that's about it. 4 mutas. That's all the gas that Solar does have at this point because he did have to commit to a bunch of Banelings to hold the attack.
But now that he has 3 gases up and running, it's not going to be long before he has enough to just keep chucking out mutas every time he has 100 gas, as you guys can see here. Starting with just the 4 you mentioned, and Lair coming up at home for Dark. And I have to say, the transition speed here for Dark has been quite quick. and Solar was unable to push him away because he made so much static defense, so the static defense cost money too. And he was unable to push Dark away, so he couldn't take a third. So Dark is using those extra larvae that we were talking about that's so powerful to now make drones. And he will have the faster third base saturation. The Mutas need to do damage, but he's only committed to the first initial ones. And
I think this is going to be his 5th, I think, in total.
Yeah.
And that's really not that much. You need to get damage done. And look at this. Dark setting up for a counterattack, no doubt, to attack that third when Solar is confident enough to go for that.
Yeah, only committing to a few Mutas is powerful, but it's, you know, it's... I think that he's committed so much to this tech that almost any other tech would be good. He's going to go for the island, which is why that Nidus is also important. Now the Nidus Worm here allows Dark to do another follow-up attack. Notice he hasn't really been droning that much. He just wants to have the minimal amount of drones that will allow him to make units constantly to attack. And he needs to snowball this game into his favor once he does so. And the Nidus is so powerful in this matchup because you can have lings all over the map. It's hard to scout and deny that Nidus network. And you can easily remake it.
Look at how many times Dark is checking for this third. He's going to come up here again for the third time. He's like, wait, you still don't have a third? What's going on here, you know? Maybe he can begin to guess because New Gettysburg is this kind of map. Look, he's trying to go for a sneaky scout, but Solar denies it.
So now you start to see, I think now we start to understand the Mutalist tech. It's going to deny him the ability to scout the island and or use it, but he still has to defend this attack. Even if the islands never die, if he loses his
Swarm host!
It's over. Okay, 3 of them coming out here. He's going to do some rogue-esque stuff here, but now that this is scouted, he needs to get more spines up. He's starting 3 more. And he needs to buy time. Dark is going to come hit this attack right now. Look at this army. So many queens. He has a much larger army, but the stack defense is going to be helpful. Queens has so many transfuses available as well.
Trying to poke up here now. Still a lot of Banelings left over for Solar, and these spines are not yet done.
He needs to get up here. He needs to get up here before the spines finish. Queens helping transfuse. The Swarm hosts are here. They have these flying locusts now. They're going to try to do what they can to deny this.
Here we go, the transfuser's going down as well. That's not going to be enough units to take out this many queens.
Okay, the locusts here are free units. They're trying to do what they can to hold this off. The spine at the right side starting to connect with queens. Dark is held off. And don't forget, he has the island. He decided not to commit to 2 because he doesn't have enough money he wouldn't have enough money to defend. But once the dust clears, he will have that third base. This spine barely alive, starting to regen. Beautiful transfuse keeps that alive. That's so important here. Swarmos trying to perhaps body block here, buy time.
Dark still might be able to do this. He needs to target down those spines that are so low.
He doesn't have enough DPS.
The spines survived for way, way too long. And another wave of locusts here. Going to be coming in just a few seconds. Dark just trying to get as many units over here. Here come the locusts, and I don't think he can commit.
He can't fight while the locusts are here. The locusts are going to target queens because he's trying to switch back into Mutalist a little bit here. Don't think that's really a reasonable transition because there's still a lot of queens here, still a lot of energy. Spines, he's trying to remake them. Dark does have some momentum here with this specific push. The spine is not rooted, so it can't attack. Those other 2 spines are not finished yet either. Those Mutalists are puny, useless in this fight with all these queens. Ling's reinforcing now as well. Looks like Dark will be able to push through.
Just barely, but he's going to do it. GG! Dark!
What a game that was. So close on the knife's edge. Dark loses so much momentum, comes with a second push.